Bridget Condon of the NFL Network is a friend of this program, and we are thrilled that prior to boarding a plane to go check out Taylor Swift in London, she has agreed to get up early on the West Coast and join us to talk a little NFL football. Do you expect to see Travis Kelce at the show?
Absolutely. I always expect that. Will the likelihood of that happen? Probably not.
Yeah.
But hey, I don't know. Maybe I think they come to town to play the Chargers week 3, week 4. So maybe then.
Maybe a pop-up concert somewhere downtown. I know we got a number of things I want to get to, and I'm going to try to do a little West Coast stuff before I get to the Patriots.
God.
Well, we'll get to it, but I think it's everything they're doing, I think, is kind of expected. Brandon Aiyuk right now with the 49ers. 49ers are trying to work out a deal. They also, with him, they also have a trade apparently on tap to send him to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They almost had one to send him to the Patriots, but the Patriots and Aiyuk couldn't agree on a contract. How do you feel like this is going to play out?
What's it like to be wanted by so many teams? Like Brandon Aiyuk is just like playing mystery man right now. I believe truly in my heart of hearts that he will stay with the 49ers. Just based off talking with people, he wants to be there. They want him there. I think it's interesting. The Steelers trade is all but signed.
Right.
So can the 49ers look at what the Steelers offered him and match that? Can they find a way to come similar to what they are offering? I think they'll get it done. He was out at practice yesterday. It looked kind of like in a 49ers. I know he had a red shirt and black shorts on, and he was talking with, players and GM and coach and stuff. So I think he finds a way to stay there. But again, anything can happen. And I don't know, do the Steelers throw in something else because they really want him? We'll have to see here, but I think this comes to an end shortly, and he will be a 49er at the end of the day.
It's sort of a hold in, right? He's not staying away. It's not like a Hassan Reddick deal with the Jets. So he's sort of around the team. He wants to be there. Does he stay on an extension, or does he stay and just play on what he's got?
No, I think it's an extension if it happens, because that's what the Steelers are offering him, from my understanding, is they're going to, they had worked out a contract extension. And a player like that, you want the extension, right? Because you never know what's going to happen anytime you take the field. So I think the deal with the 49ers, if he was going to stay 1 year, I think he would have already done it. So I think it's the extension that they're waiting to come to terms on. And I think that they find a way to get it done. I really, truly believe that. But I've been saying things this week, and then the complete opposite have been happening. So I don't really know. Mercury's in Gatorade or something.
Yes, and earthquakes too. 4.4 to 4.7, depending on what you believe and read. Bridget Condon, NFL Network, is joining us at Bridget Condon with an underscore at the end of it on Twitter. So I know you go out to Chargers camp a lot. So first of all, how has training camp with Jim Harbaugh gone? How odd has he been? We certainly know he had the show cause with Michigan, which is hysterical since he's never going back to coaching college. So how has that gone from a Chargers perspective?
Well, it's very different than in years past. Brandon Staley wasn't out there in cleats and gloves, catching passes, throwing balls. Jim Harbaugh, of course, is. They obviously have their new facility, the Bolt, which is a phenomenal facility, and it's been super great to see them, finally find a home, because where they were at in Costa Mesa, it was essentially like an office building that they were renting out. It just didn't feel like they owned that space. And I don't mean that literally. I mean, it didn't feel like theirs. And that's what this new place feels like. It's so interesting though, because all these things point to success for the Chargers and the excitement, the new facility, Jim Harbaugh. And then now we're talking about these injuries. Yeah. And it's really unfortunate. It feels like the past 3 summers, there's been this incredible amount of excitement and hope and expectation, and something's gotten in the way. Today is 2 weeks since the Chargers announced Justin Herbert's injury. They announced it on August 1st, and they said doctors recommend approximately 2 weeks in a boot. So it'll be interesting to see today if he is out of that boot at practice. He has been in that boot still this week.
So here's the thing. We know that Justin Herbert, and we can debate whether or not he's, closer to the top, 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, physically, we know the gifts are there. The size, the arm strength, all of that. It's the winning part that we have missed really with Herbert, and a lot of that could be, attributed to Brandon Staley and others. But so we could debate where he is there, but ultimately he's their guy, he's their future. So even if he had to miss like the first 2 weeks of the regular season, it's a 17-week season. So
okay, but did you see Easton Stick's performance?
He was terrible. But
So this is my thing. If he is gonna miss the first 2 weeks, which I totally agree with you, if it's a situation where, miss 2 more weeks and then you're completely fine this season, hold him out. But based on everything I'm hearing about this injury, Mitch Trubisky, Carolina guy, actually had this injury in Chicago. And based on conversations I've had, I'm pretty sure he tore the plantar fascia.
Right.
He was actually able to practice more because it's less annoying once it tears. So I don't know if it's a situation where you hold him out and then things are fine. I think it's going to be something that continues to pop out all season. And my concern with keeping him out, what I was saying, is the lack of ability at the backup spot. And that's kind of what I said on NFL Network earlier this week. If there's a situation where Justin Herbert's not going to play, they got to sign one of these veterans, these right. veteran quarterbacks like a Ryan Tannehill or, Trevor Siemian. They got to find someone that can at least get them wins over, I think they play the Panthers week 2, right? You need someone, you need to win in that game.
All right. Well, Trevor Siemian might not be the guy. I think he played for the Jets last year, and Trevor Siemian might not be the guy.
I don't know, man. Did you see Easton Stick? I'm not trying to rag on anyone, but
I don't believe Easton Stick is an actual person. I believe Easton Stick is like a piece of sporting equiment.
Hey, how about Luis Perez?
Here you go.
MVP.
That is right.
Slinging it.
Here's another name for you, and I'm really kidding here, because I did not see any of this, and now all of a sudden I'm seeing that Harbaugh offered Colin Kaepernick a coaching position.
I did see that.
All right, I'm gonna dot that.
Yeah,
but why not? Let's move on. Let me move on before social media completely loses their minds. Bridget Condon, and NFL Network, is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. So the Patriots traded all-pro linebacker Matthew Judon to the Falcons yesterday, regardless of what they received in a trade. It is clear that the Patriots are in, we'll just call it T mode, for a better draft pick next year. They might not even use Drake May this season, even though he was the 3rd overall pick. Their offensive line doesn't appear good. They don't have great skill position players, so why would you put him in the same position the Panthers put Bryce Young in? What is your read on what's going on in New England?
Okay, so I was a little bit surprised by this move just based on conversations I had in the beginning of the week with people around the organization that said that they had made it clear they didn't want to be in a complete rebuild mode. And so in talking with people, they were like, they have to find a way to get it done with Judon because you're going to rely heavily on your defense. He's one of the best defenders, especially with a offense, like you mentioned, that has a lot of question marks. So I thought they would get it done. So I was a little surprised, I'm not going to lie. Now this is signaling, like you said, complete rebuild. Okay. And so now I look at this, and maybe it has to do with the fact that they couldn't get Brandon Aiyuk. Had they gotten Brandon Aiyuk, you don't trade Matt Judon. Absolutely not. Right. You got to try and you're trying to be competitive at that point. But right now it looks like complete rebuild. Don't put Drake May out there. Exactly what you said. Why are you going to risk him getting injured, one, and his confidence getting destroyed? Mac Jones was put into a situation, I think, way too early. He didn't have skill positions. The offensive line has been a problem, Bill Belichick was there when that was a problem. This isn't like a first-year Gerard Mayo offensive line issue. No, this has been an issue for the past couple of years. So, yeah, I mean, try to get a better draft pick and let Drake learn from Jacoby during practice. Jacoby, again, like he's a guy who can run this offense. He'll be fine out there. I just think that it's kind of disappointing. The season hasn't even started yet, and it's hard to find things to look forward to when you look at this Patriots roster. I
won't be surprised in the least if the Patriots trade Bailey Zappi to the L.A. Chargers. I mean, the Patriots have 4 quarterbacks right now. You can go into the season with Jacoby Brissett and Joe Milton as your 2 top quarterbacks and let Drake May just marinate.
He was fun to watch, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I thought the touchdown pass, it was a game against the Panthers, so I watched it. I thought the touchdown pass had a better shoulder fake than it did an actual pass, but the shoulder fake was so good, the pass didn't have to be good because the receiver was 11 yards open. Okay.
What's interesting is Patriots fans are crazy, and I understand I'm from New England, but so I can say that. The same way that they were chanting for Bailey Zappi, they want Joe Milton to be in there. Let's not forget that this guy is super athletic and was running for his life. Like, the offensive line couldn't protect him either, you know? So, like, you can't do that for an entire season without getting injured. So let's keep that in mind when we talk about, like, put Joe Milton in there over Drake May.
No, I think you put Joe Milton in there over Drake May because you want May. May is your future. You want May to learn how to play the position and not have to take the abuse. I look at it as identical situations as the Panthers had last year with Bryce Young. Hopefully it will not hurt his progress that he had to deal with all of that, because you can get bad habits and start being gun shy and looking when he got sacked 62 times or whatever the number was last year. So I hope Drake May has a healthy season where he doesn't get abused. I also remember a time, and this is where I point out that, you don't even remember a time where the Patriots were not great. Get me right? You don't remember a time when the Patriots weren't great, correct?
Correct.
Right. I do. I remember the 70s and most of the 80s and early 90s where they were occasionally good. There were a couple of Super Bowl appearances. Bill Parcells took them to a Super Bowl. Ray Berry took them to the Super Bowl. But I remember a time where the Patriots were essentially the Jets. I wonder if we're headed back toward that. No Brady and no Belichick.
All right, relax. A bad season is okay. Relax. I will not take any slander.
All right. Well, I'm just saying, if you there's some history there.
They need to start making some different decisions. I'll say that.
Yes. Well, they already made one. They got rid of Bill Belichick. And again, I'm not even against that. I think everybody needed a change. Bridget Condon, you have to go make a flight. What do you want Taylor Swift to open with in London?
Oh my God. Isn't it the same show?
I have no idea.
I think it is. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little nervous. Like, am I going to get tired after 3 hours? But I'll let you know.
You won't get tired after 3 hours.
Okay. I hope not. Right. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Have you been to London?
No, I have not. I have not.
Okay. Me neither. I was going to ask you for recommendations, but.
And if I was going to go to London tomorrow, or today, if I was going to go to London, I would be going to a Premier League match. I would be going to see who's playing in London. So West Ham and Villa, I think, are playing at West London Stadium. Anyway, Bridget Condon, NFL Network, at Bridget Condon _ on Twitter. Safe flight. I'll talk to you when you get back.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you so much.